Got questions to ask, and a fire that won't die, unraveling each task under the sky. Oh, digger 420, curious Canuck, answers on your mind, never getting stuck.
Because, hello again. Twice in a day, I know, right? This week's schedule was a little bit mixed up. So we're doing Chatting with Chat today instead of yesterday. Hope y'all don't mind too much. Oh, wait a minute here. Oh, for Pete's sakes. When I start clicking buttons, right? There we go. Where did I put you? There's chat. There we go. Hello, MJ. Good to see you. Good to see you too, to Bishop. Nice to see you. So we are here again. Like I said, I did not stream yesterday as I would normally have done, so I figured I'd do it today. I did stream this morning, reading from the book, The Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat. So that was on schedule as per usual. It was just yesterday that it wasn't quite working, yesterday afternoon. Either which way, I'm here now. Next week, we'll be back to being on Wednesdays in the middle of the week. And other than that, hello, it's Thursday. Hello, Mr. Q, how you doing? Happy Evil Spend Money on Women Day? Yeah, that's about it, right? I know there was a mayor in Vancouver, BC. At one point, he decreed that, I think it was March. I don't know. I think it was March 14th. A different month was Steak and Blowjob Day for the men, because the women get the Valentines. So funny, but I don't know that a city needs to necessarily decree it. However, now we've got small towns painting rainbow sidewalks. So I guess, it all started from somewhere. Everyone's saying hi to everyone. What do you guys want to talk about? It's chatting with you guys. So what topics are on your mind? I haven't actually looked too much at the news. I got a laugh. There's a couple of different news sources that are talking about, could Canada potentially join the EU? Which is as ridiculous as, could Canada become the 51st state? It's all utter nonsense. But the fact that some mainstream media people are throwing out the fear, people will actually believe it, and it's silly, it's ridiculous, and it's a bit sad. But why on earth would Canada join the EU, right? Mm. Oh, that's better. So I did miss a lot of Johnny's show today, I guess. Was there any fun news or anything that he had discovered? Yeah, I see. We're still Canadians are still booing at American teams at sports events. That's kind of disappointing. Oh, hello, OG coming in. When I think of Valentine's Day, I think of Cupid. That baby pulls a string to make love, but I love when my lady pulls a string better because there will be no baby. Nicely put. Nicely put. It just so happens, what we were reading in the book today, one of the stories was about a woman who had worked in a brothel 60 years earlier, but she was presenting, then she lived a healthy life. She was presenting 60 years later with all sorts of extreme euphoria. It turns out that she had Cupid's disease, or what we know of as syphilis, from back in the day working in the whorehouse. And she treated that, but she didn't, I guess she didn't cure herself of it. She just treated the symptoms. And so she thought it had disappeared, and it came back to haunt her. 60 years later, it was making her euphoric and giggly, joking. Um, she was afraid it was going to take her too far in the other direction, and thankfully, in her case, they were able to remedy it so that it wouldn't get any worse, but it wouldn't get better either. So she was able to spend the rest of her life, what was left of her life, in that semi-euphoric state, which, you know, I can think of worse ways to spend your golden years. Semi-euphoric, joyful, and joking, you know. Mr. Q says you will be conquered by America. I don't think so. I think that bit's bluff and bluster, but it is, those threats are going to help repair my nation. It's going to force my government to smarten the fuck up. um, at least in some ways. Pierre Poilievre, I've said for a long time, he'll be the next PM. He he's not any better than Trudeau in most ways. He works for, allegedly talking out my ass. This is just what I've come to find for myself. Go do your own research. I'm talking out my ass. I think I said that one. Trudeau, in my opinion, works for the WEF, or at least that's who's pulling his strings. Poilievre is working for the UN, or pulling his strings. I would be inclined, if I had my druthers, I would say Maxime Bernier would be the next PM, although he, from the sounds of it, I haven't been able to find much information one way or another. So if anyone knows anything about the EU back in the late 90s, early 2000s, that would be helpful to me, because he worked over there. But from all I've been able to find, he's the only one that is actually like Trump. He wants to make Canada Canadian again. He wants to give us our rights back. He was anti-mandates, anti-vax. He's been fighting for Canadian rights since before COVID was a thing. And I just said all those three things in a row. I'm going to get in trouble. Cross fingers. But yeah, he's been fighting for Canadians for a long, long time. That's why he split from the Canadian Conservative Party, or the Conservative Party of Canada, CPC. He split from them years ago because they were following along with the UN agenda and really going anti-Canadian. And he couldn't fix it from within the party, so he split and made his own. He doesn't have a single seat in the House. So his party's not going anywhere quick federally. That being said, the PPC, the grassroots, is doing brilliantly, which is what I've always said we need. We need to take our country back, but we have to do it in reverse. We can't just go and cut the head off the snake and everything will fall in line. Not in our position. Not unless we want violence. And violence isn't the answer. Canada has proved that again and again, or at least it's proved that violence is the absolute last option. And we can do it. We just need to do it from a grassroots level, and which is what the PPC is doing. They're taking over small towns and cities, municipalities. They're growing because they really are Canada first. They're the only people who want to give us back our rights, who want to shut off almost all immigration and, make make space and build homes for the people who are here now. They're into integration into Canadian society as opposed to the melting pot that we've become. Somewhere along the way, our multiculturalism, which I was so proud of, has turned into a melting pot. We've allowed so many different people of different beliefs with, you know, questionable ties to other groups and authorities to come in and take root here. Um, so, yeah, we need to bring Canada back again. And I hope that the PPC is going to be the one to do it. If so, they've got a good head start in the small towns and the smaller cities. So, one day at a time, hopefully. A brothel, eh? Well, today is National Condom Day. Is it really? The day before Valentine's is National Condom Day. I love it. I love it. That's great. So it's a very Valentine day today, anyways. That's fun. Thank you for that. Mr. Q says, I think of this though. The few people with guns in Canada probably want to be Americans so they can keep them. Well, and again, that's something that we need to change from the ground up. There's so many farmers across Canada. They're facing the exact same troubles that the farmers in France and in Germany and I believe it was the Netherlands. All across the world, farmers are revolting because of their ill treatment and the massive legislation that fights against them every step of the way. Legislation and taxation. The same thing's happening here in Canada. You just don't hear very much of it for some reason. Probably because our media is mostly state owned, shall we say? Um, but yeah, we will do it. It's going to take, see, that's the problem. It's going to take decades to repair it because we have to do it from the ground up instead of the top down. Um, Poilievre is going to be a help in a lot of ways, just because he's fiscally responsible. The man knows how to save a dollar, how to wisely spend a dollar, and out of any of the parties that have any sort of seats in the House, they're the only ones that are talking about intra-provincial trade, which has long been an issue, but no one's bothered to do anything about it. So I think that in and of itself will help help Canadians across the country in general, and I think it will help to get these houses that are so desperately needed. I think it'll help it to get built. Because it won't be cheaper to order it and have it shipped from America than to order it and have it shipped from the couple provinces over, because right now that's the problem. It costs more to order it within Canada than without, and it's ridiculous. So in that respect, Poilievre is going to help Canada quite a bit, and I am thankful to him. But I don't forget that the UN, or rather my province, BC, passed a Bill 31, I believe it was, that allows the UN, the next time my government calls a national emergency, the UN can come in and take over any piece of property, any land, any building, anything. They can take it over in the name of the national emergency. They do not have to pay the people whose stuff they're taking or land they're taking. They don't have to remunerate the people for it whatsoever, and they don't have to give it back when the national emergency has ended either. That's a little known bill that passed in BC, and I'm sure versions of it have passed quietly across Canada and in several other provinces. There's a lot of things that get passed that we don't know about, like the shovel thing. Sure, it's funny as all get out. My shovels are illegal and my little spades are illegal, and I need to go and have an accidental boat thing next summer to get rid of all my shovels, right? It's funny, but think of it this way: until someone made a video telling me that a spade was going to be illegal in my country, or is now illegal in my country, I didn't know that the little spades that I have for the pots were already illegal and had been illegal for years. I had no idea about that. They just passed it without any of us having any idea. What other laws have they passed without us having any idea of what's going on? We won't know until they decide to not enact them, but enforce them. We won't know until it's too late. Um, and that's scary. Hello, Atomic Ray. Bring back milk bags. Heck yeah. I spilled a lot less milk with milk bags than I did when they changed over to the big jugs. You know, just saying. Mr. Q says, icky, the EU is ew, nasty, bad. I know, right? I know. Um, that's why I'm glad that it's comical that people think that it's a possibility for us joining the EU. It makes no sense whatsoever in any level. Does it make any sense? Um, but I do know that they're just as filthy as the rest of them. They're just a different faction of the globalists, right? Everyone has a paymaster. It just depends on who that paymaster is. Um, so yeah, the EU is just as bad. And like I said, from my understanding, Maxime Bernier disappeared when he left the party or before he joined. Oh, I should double check that because my memory sucks. Um, I'm pretty sure he worked for the EU before he came back and joined the Conservative Party and then had troubles with them to form and went to form the PPC. I think that's how it was. So he did spend many years building experience and cred within the EU and the ICC. So I'm not saying he's pristine, not by a long chalk, but um, he's the best of a bad bunch. You know, it's like Trump. Oh, sorry, Charlie horse in my toe. Anyways, it's like Trump. Trump is not clean by any means. He's got paymasters. I've got my own opinions on who his paymasters are. Um, but he's not clean by any means, but he does want to put America first. And in that respect, it works for you guys. And as I've said so many times, the American Constitution is, you guys are the last bastion of real freedom. So hopefully, with a strong leader like Trump, um, you guys will get back on track fiscally. And sounds like you're getting your military back as well. And that all bodes well for us because we're your next door neighbor. And whatever happens to you happens to us. And if we piss you off, you know, we're hooped. And the whole thing with the trade thing, the tariff war, it's ridiculous anyways. There's no reason or need for Canada to fight any of this. We've already fulfilled the one about the securing the border. We already made agreements and fulfilled that. So that part of the tariffs is done. Now it's stopping the fentanyl specifically. And that's going to be a much bigger job. That's, I have, again, my opinions and I'm talking out my ass when I talk about these things, but I've got a lot of opinions on how that fentanyl, or the precursor as they call it, gets into our country. The port of Vancouver in my province being one of the main ones, in my opinion. So yeah, there's a lot. That's going to be a lot bigger task to tackle, and I don't know if Poilievre is going to be willing to tackle it. I don't. I mean, he works for the UN, And anyone who has done any looking into the UN knows how dirty they are. So I don't know if that's going to necessarily be the biggest thing. Um, Cutting back the fentanyl that's coming through, of course he has to, because he has to make the good show. But to stop it anywhere enough to make any real difference, that would take pissing off a lot of other global factions who have put their clutches into us. So, you know, I don't know. I don't expect much on that front from him. The symbol of Canada is a leaf. Hey, Trump, leave us alone. Thank you. Mr. Q says soon, you're just North America, so get ready to be part of MAGA. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to take a lot for Canucks, us average Canucks, to be willing to give up our national, our nation, our national identity. You know, being a Canuck is like one of the things I'm proud of being. I know it's a birthright thing. It's not like I got any choice in the matter, but I love Canada. I love that we were known as the most polite country. We were able to be friends with just about everyone in the world, and get along with everyone. At one point, um, things have changed, but hopefully they can change back as well. So, Mr. Q says, you guys know that today is not Valentine's Day, um, or that today is Valentine's Day, not tomorrow. No, tomorrow's Valentine's Day, Mr. Q. Today's the 13th. OG says, if I want to flaunt my guns, I just tear off my sleeves. There you go. Yeah, I've got none whatsoever. So it's a good thing I'm wearing a long sleeve. OG, or MJ's saying, OG, yes, but is it a rainbow leaf yet? Not yet, and never if we can help it. That sort of thing is being walked back already. I can see it. I can see it, and that's really nice. The bashing us over the head with LGBTQ stuff it's already lessened, but the mainstream media in Canada is very much promoting Mark Carney to be the next leader of the Liberals, and thereby, the next PM. He's an evil man. If you guys think Trudeau is bad, or Trudeau is bad, he's just a puppet. He will do whatever whoever's paying his bills tells him to do. Mark Carney is actually evil. He's got a brain. He's got plans. He's really dangerous. So I hope he doesn't become the new leader of the Liberal Party, although I think he is going to. But I really, really hope that this mainstream media and their lies don't cause the sheeple to fall in line. A lot of people woke up thanks to the last few years with Trudeau. So hopefully they don't go, oh, okay, this guy's better, and fall in line. Hopefully they stay awake and try to fix stuff. You can tell who went to buy flowers and shit on time. Jeez, guys. Fair enough, Mr. Q. Fair enough. If the Canadian leaf becomes rainbow, I'm going to take root there, says OG. You're going to go take root there. We need some more like manly men. We've got an awful lot of softy soy boys right now. Hello, Squabby. How you doing? Trump would help Canada more than its new governor. Yeah, its new governor is not going to be here much longer, and he knows it. That's why he's trying to do as much as he's trying to do in these last days and weeks. OG's got to go. Okay, nice. It was only 10 minutes ago, so hopefully you were still listening. So have a good one. We'll talk to you later. Scobby says, plus I could visit digs without a passport. Do you know how many times I've had that thought in the last, say, month? Um, I swore when they decided that we needed passports to come visit you, I swore at that point in time I would never get a passport, um, just to thumb my nose at you guys. And I never did. Decades go, well, not decades, but more than a decade has gone by and I've never needed it. And now suddenly I need to come and visit all you folks in the States and I'm having to apply for the passport. And holy Hannah, the rigmarole, it's just ridiculous. Uh, Especially for someone like me. I don't really have um, a lot of people in my IRL that can say they know me well enough to sign a thing for me, you know? So that's kind of been interesting. So yeah, without a passport, that would be lovely. Mr. Q asks, why are your shovels illegal? How many shovel deaths were there in Canada last year? What's the purpose of not having a shovel? You know what? You got me. I have no idea what the premise is or why they've made these shovels illegal. Um, like I said, I wouldn't have known that my spades, my tiny little, for potted plants, I would have had no idea that they've been illegal for a few years now, except that someone made a video talking about my favorite shovel, which is a spade, being made illegal recently. I have no idea why, what the reasoning is. It is. Um, Ooh. Squab says milk bags. You mean breasts? Does Canada have a woman shortage? No, no. You're missing out, says Atomic Ray. Closest thing to breastfeeding without women. It really is. It really is. Um, it's it was really nice and it was a lot easier for small hands to pour than the big 4 liter jugs. I don't know how big you guys do. You get your jugs of milk in liters, or do you do those in gallons too? You guys make me so confused with your measurements. Just make it easy. Squabub says shoving is too rude for Canada. It sounds like that Canada hates diggers and people who farm flowers. I am pro shovel. I am very much pro shovel, for sure. Mr. Q says Trump's a piece of crap. He's just the best piece of crap that we've had for 20 years. Exactly. Exactly. We all know he's not pristine. He's not clean. Um, we all know it. But out of the bunch, he's the best one you've got. And thankfully, you got it this time. In my opinion, 2020 was a stolen election. Uh, did I tell you guys I'm also live streaming over at Rumble? If I say anything that might piss YouTube off and I disappear suddenly, just go find me on Rumble. Um, I'll still be over there anyways. JKD Buck, Digger, if our countries ever go to war, please remember one thing. The stuff you call bacon ain't bacon. I have been learned. Thank you very much. I have been learned. Um, what we call bacon is just a thick slice of ham for you guys, I guess. But okay, I bow. I bow. I agree. But I do like the extra thick, or sorry, what we consider bacon is thin ham to you. Um, Mr. Q says all politicians suck. That's for sure. Oops. There we go. Brian's finally home. Yay. Squabob says make America crap still. You don't mean that. I know you don't mean that. Brian says, I actually found Pokemon cards for my wife to open. Oh, good for you. Were you having difficulty? I heard something about you looking for Pokemon cards. Are they being hard to find or something? JK says, where's the fentanyl made? Well, for sure, it's a lot of it is made here. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying that there are underlying issues. The fentanyl and the fentanyl being made here, those are just symptoms of a much larger problem. And the much larger problem is not something that, in my opinion, Poilievre can or is willing to change, in my opinion. But most definitely, the precursors come in, as much as they like to downplay it. I think just as much precursor comes in through Canada as it does through Mexico. Perhaps, in my opinion, more, because Mexico has all their main lines for a lot of other major drugs. Um, so I think they may also rely a bit on the precursors that come through Canada. That's just my opinion. Again, I'm talking out my ass. Um, but yeah, it definitely comes through us, or a lot of it comes through us, not just us, but through a lot. And a lot of it's made here, but we can't fix that unless we're willing to tackle the larger problems, like the CCP control in BC, or the HA's control of Canada's ports, which has been a thing for probably 50 years or more now. Hey, you. Thank you. Uh, so, yeah, those are much larger issues that need to be dealt with. The longshoremen in Canada, that whole thing needs to be cleaned up, which I don't think will happen, not to the amount that we need it to. Mr. Q says, hell yeah, military, if they would just use it the right way. That's another thing. Thanks to Trump, we're being forced to revisit and repair our military. I can't wait for the day that they say they're going to take back all the military and the first responders, the hospital workers who refused the shot. When they all get hired back here in Canada, that's when that's when I know we'll be finally on the right track again. I don't know that that'll happen. Not here. It's unfortunate, but Pierre Poilievre was right along with the COVID vaccine, right along with the mandates. He was, oh yeah, let's get in there. Let's shoot everyone up every 2 weeks. He was right on there with everyone else. The only one who was talking out against it and standing up for the pastors and the stores that chose to stand against it was Maxime Bernier. So, hello, SH. She says, I've been told to be suspicious of anyone who would want to be a politician. No good person would. Yeah, see, and I used to want to get into politics. I was looking at politics as being a route right up until grade 12 when I discovered acid and then other drugs. At which point I figured there's no way I could ever get into politics, not with a past like mine, not with a history like mine. Little did I know I would have fit right in this day and age. Or maybe not, because I did clean up my act. So, who knows? Brian saying, Digger, you're anything but average. Why, thank you. You own a shovel, so you're a hardened criminal. Ba-dum-dum-ching. Thank you for that. I love it. The one good thing about Trump, he's only been a politician for 4 years before now, and compared to all the other people that have been there, in there for $50 or 50 or 60 years. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's just it. Because he's not got the political ties. I think that's what hampered his first 4 years, was the fact that he didn't understand how politics worked. Now he's got a much better idea of how it works. I still think he's trusting people that he shouldn't necessarily trust, but you live and learn, and I might be wrong too. So he's definitely learned from the first 4 years, and he's getting a lot more done. Um, and he doesn't, because he's not a politician by trade. He's not been corrupted in that way. So I think at the end of the day, he's getting long in the tooth. He knows it. He also knows there's a target on his back. Um, he's always worked for one of the globalist factions. I have my opinions on which family that is, but it's just an opinion. And I think he's realized that globalism is not something that we can stop anymore. I think we're too far gone. I think globalism will be a thing. And I think he's seen that. And he's trying to make sure that the globalist framework uh, is based around America and America's values, which, again, seeing as you've got the Constitution, um, is the best choice out of a bunch of bad options. Uh, so I think that's what's happening with him, and I think that's why he's making a bit more difference this time around. So we'll see. I am honestly surprised that they allowed him to get this far. I was certain he'd be dead before inauguration, uh, long before inauguration, I had thought. But it's been really entertaining to watch him and Elon do their thing. I really don't trust JD Vance as far as I could throw him. I really don't. But yeah, I am enjoying the fun that Elon and Trump are creating. Just the meltdowns and the people, the light being shined on everything, and all the cockroaches running away and scurrying away. It's fun, and I hope he gets his full 4 years, because it's going to be an entertaining 4 years. But you do have to remember that he's only got 4 years, so you need to find your next Trump now. I keep saying that. If you just leave it up to, the fates or whomever, you're going to end up with just another shill in 4 years, and this will have been an aberration. America's political system would be instantly fixed if they had term limits and they didn't allow lobbyists to pay people off. Correct? Term limits, age limits, and pay caps. I think that would help quite a bit. Also, cutting all the fat away, like Trump is doing. It's lovely, and it's going to help quite a bit. That being said, I was talking to someone who was mentioning some of the downsides of closing these places, like the educational Department of Education and USAID and whatnot. Special needs kids and adults are also unfortunately being are suffering because of all these sudden stop payments. They're stopping all the big money from going to the bad people, but a lot of good people and good programs have been affected by it as well. And I just really hope that as much as they're finding the big, the big bad guys, I hope they've also got people working on keeping track of the ones who are actually doing good, so that they can get them back on track sooner rather than later. It's it's unfortunate, but the rot is so deep now that unless you turn off everything and check everyone out one by one, the rot's going to come back. They're afraid we're getting better at hockey and curling. Oh, we have no such fear. No, the game of hockey, as the NHL plays it in the world, it's changed so much. Can we make hockey 1980s again? Can we do that? Can we bring hockey back to the 80s, to those rules and regulations? Can we do that? Hockey was beautiful back then. It's all finesse now. Wasn't it Governor Huckabee who said he wanted a flat tax and to make lobbying illegal? JKD is saying he thinks that's who said it. Of course, he didn't get the nomination. Well, of course not. That's what I'm saying. At least from a Canadian perspective, this PPC group, it's going to be a wonderful party, but the rot is so bad that it needs to start at the very bottom and work its way up to the top. If we try and just cut off the head, um, and try and fix things from there. Unfortunately, there are so many people who have so many ties to each other and backdoor deals and secret handshakes and agreements. It's not going to work. It's not going to work all the way through. So by getting this party strong in all the little small rural towns and cities along the way, and building it up that way with people who actually care about their towns and cities, who care about the rights of ourselves and all the Canadians, I think that's going to be our best bet. So it may be what you guys need to do as well. There's an awful lot of governors uh, in your Senate that really shouldn't have jobs because they're doing the opposite of what they've been voted in to do. So, I think we got to come from the bottom up. I'm super far behind in anime this week. I haven't watched anything since Sunday, says Brian. Oh no. Oh no. Not just for that reason. I am going to see quite a few people, including yourself, Brian. Um, there are quite a few people I want to see across your fine country. Uh, Unfortunately, if these tariff wars do continue, it makes it more and more expensive. Uh, Last time I checked, I think was yesterday, and my dollar was worth 70 cents in your money. So feel free to buy me a coffee or support the channel. Buy a Rumble Rant, that sort of thing. I appreciate it. Um, the money right now is going towards the series of acupuncture treatments that I have always wanted to get but couldn't afford to get. So you guys have already paid for the first two, and half of the third one. So please feel free to support. So far, so good. It's been interesting. And my next treatment, she said she's going to help me specifically, um, or she'll direct the treatment specifically towards helping me quit smoking, because that's the thing I need to do. Um, so yeah, thank you for all of your support. Um, because it's helping me to do things to make myself feel better that I couldn't do otherwise. And it's also helping me to do things, or it will eventually help me to do things like pay for passports and train fares and spending money when I'm there so that I get to come and visit all you people. Um, yeah, I'm really excited about the trip. It may end up needing to be done in stints, depending on how the Canadian dollar fares, honestly. Um, but there's a few people across your country that I want to see. Um, Really important people I want to see. So, and Johnny's not the only one. You are definitely one. You and Mighty and Kaiser and the boys, AP. I can't wait to get my boys meet up. I'm really looking forward to it. So, yeah, that passport's for you guys too. SH says, I haven't had a passport since I was a young teen. I've never had one. I've never needed one. I had to go to work right out of high school and, well, go to work. I was already working. I started working my first, taxable job at 12. So I went straight into working full time. I never got to go tour around the world or travel to, specific countries. And like I said, it stuck in my craw when suddenly your country decided that I needed a passport to visit your country. And so the petty beast inside of me said, well, fuck you guys. I just won't come back to your country again. And that's kind of how it's been. So I've never had a passport. I've never had to do any of this stuff. It's, there's an awful lot more hoops to jump through. So, Okay, you guys do gallons of milk, gallons and half gallons. Okay. Yeah, and we do 4 liters of milk. So you're still doing weird maths for your milks and stuff too. MJ says, I can't wait till I need a passport to go to California, right? Oh, Mr. Q, gallons of milk is 4 pints. Now you're pulling in pints? Like, come on. The only pint I know is the pint that you pour at a bar. Um, and I don't know if that's the same as a pint of ice cream. Is that the same pint or I have no idea. I'm talking about milk jugs. Yes, I am. Giggity. Oh, you're lactose intolerant, hey? You can no longer enjoy milk. I'm the opposite. I was born severely lactose intolerant. I had goat's milk. Anything else made me ill as a baby. Uh, but over the years, I've built a tolerance to it. Nowadays, I can have my bowl of cereal or a bowl of ice cream a day. You know, that's roughly the measurement. Um, one or the other, not both, unless I want to have serious stomach issues. But yeah, it's be awful to have been able to eat and drink it all the time and then lose that ability. I've been able to gain cheese over the years, and it's phenomenal. Does chocolate milk come from chocolate women? I don't know, Squabby. You'll have to ask them. I'm pretty sure it comes from the cocoa bean, though. Atomic says it can, Squab. Chocolate prices are high right now, so chocolate may be asking too much. Too much. Hello, Dom. Some are rougher than others. There we go. That's the Rumble chat. Squab Bob says, isn't the Canadian bacon salted? Um, Not that I'm aware of. I don't think so, or at least not what I know of as Canadian bacon. Brian says Pokemon cards are getting scalped to hell. Most recent packs are getting sold for triple the price. Really? I did not know that. I should go and buy a bunch of Pokemon cards around town before they go through the roof, and then I can charge y'all. Even if I charged you per pack exactly what I paid for it per pack, what you paid me would still be more, and I'd still end up making money. Just because of the difference in the dollar. That might be a good money making scheme. JK says China makes fentanyl out the ass. Yes, yes, and China has a lot of control over the lower mainland of BC, which is the uh, main port in the west in all of North America. It's the main port for the west, and it's been poorly managed, as have all the Canadian ports for so many decades. The Longshoremen Guild is not all of them, but I knew an awful lot of them in the 90s and 2000s, and most of them said you had to be a member of a certain group, um, or else you weren't going to get the choice, you know, hours and all of that sort of thing. So um, yeah, until we clean up the ports and clean up security there, I don't think we're going to be able to make much of a difference. Oh, that's why you were talking about Pokemon cards in the McDonald's Happy Meal. Now I understand, Mr. Q. Your girlfriend's kids loved it. Awesome. Okay. I didn't know there was a run on Pokemon cards. Squabub says China makes COVID too. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. You know what I should do though? Let me go over here. Now that I've said it, um, full size that. We're going to share this. Come over here. Oh, nope, not that one. I want to minimize. Get out of the way. There we go. Oh, don't make me set it all up again. Where's the chat bubble? Oh, for Pete's sakes. Okay. Give me a second here. First things first. If YouTube has troubles, click here. Because I'm saying all sorts of words that I shouldn't be saying. So there you go. Let's see, I'll star that, then I can go down here. Oh, I need to go to YouTube to pin it. Of course I do. Of course. Because nothing is easy, right? Go. Thank you. Oh, mute. Oh, and now I need to wait for the chat bubble to register. Oh, for Pete's sakes. Okay, I will pin it in a moment. When and if it ever decides to join, but you guys can there we go. You guys can figure it out. I'm Digger 1420 over on Rumble. So oh, for Pete's sakes. There's the Rumble chat. Let's minimize that. Open that again. Wow, click one thing and everything. Okay, the YouTube chat is never going to open. Hey, Brian, you've got a wrench. Why don't you pin that for me? Or you can't. It has to be me. Darn it, for Pete's sakes. YouTube, open panel. Open panel. Join chat. There it is. Awesome. Does anyone else have trouble with that? They open a YouTube stream, live stream, and a live stream starts going. But it takes forever for the live stream chat box to actually open and upload. It's really kind of a pain in the buttocks, I have to say. Now I do have the I don't have to go searching for Rumble chat again. There we go. And oh, you're not going to make it easy. Okay. Holy Hannah, I am behind in chat. Where on earth is the... Okay, where's the chat? The starred comment. Half gallons, China. There we go. Okay. 432. Okay, I'm not that bad. I'm doing okay. JK says Canada, the land of William Shatner, Loblaws commercials. Oh, does he do Loblaws commercials? Yeah, things got worse when Loblaws came in and bought up a bunch of our Canadian stuff. Loose Cougar, I know. They're running around getting antsy. They seem to be a little bit more polite these days. If I've got the headphones on and I'm talking to the screen, they're not quite as pushy about a specific time where they get sustenance. I can't say the words because they know that and they'll get too excited. And it's not that time yet, is it? No, it's not. Started my homework again, and now I'm sad. This shit is hard as fuck. Yes, Brian, but once you've got it over and done with, it's going to be so much of a relief. And it's going to help you through with the rest of your life. So you got to suck it up and knuckle down now. However many other, little sayings I can throw at you one day at a time. But you can do it. I know you can. I have faith. Squabob's watching your brain grow. Brian, however, is crying in the shower with a swollen brain. Who do you trust if not Trump? I don't trust any of them. That's kind of the point. Hello, Nat Clo. Had a great time going out with you last night. Remember to DM me later. Okay. Oh, I'm blind as a bat, but that is most definitely a wrestler in your avatar. Oh man, I wish I weren't so blind and that weren't so small. Hello, Phil's and Holes. How you doing? Um, Brian says you and Meat were thinking the deep state would get him. I said all along that he was going to make it. The deep state missed. Now they have to lay it. Yeah, now they have to lay in it for 4 years. Well, there you go. So you were right and we were wrong. Yeah, I really did not expect him to make it. So this is fun. Like I said, everything from here on out is gravy, and I am thoroughly enjoying every minute of it. So let me get rid of that completely. I see I'm getting a little herky jerky. So maybe if I do that, it'll work a little better. And then I can see your avatars a bit better too. Ha ha ha. There we go. Oh, for Pete's sake. So now I've lost us again. Gallons. Uh, There we go. You're swollen brained. Hello, filling some holes. Me and Meaty. I mean, how dare Doge follow the money and show people what is being done with their tax money? I know, how dare they? And this unelected Elon Musk taking liberties with everything, unlike the people who were unelected and doing it prior to his taking over. Forget about them. But Elon Musk, you know. Brian S., the good programs will recover. You need to cut out the bad so the good can grow back stronger. Exactly, and that's what I was saying to my friend. It's just that a lot of good things, systems, and stuff are going to get affected um, in just small ways or in major ways, but it's needed to get all of the rot out. And once the rot is out, you can bring back the good programs, and they will be much stronger and better funded, better run because of it. You know, there's no accountability for dollars set aside for special education. For every diagnosis, they get X dollars and do not have to prove they use it on your special needs child. There you go. SH is agreeing. She's wondering how many programs, departments, employees will end up having to be restarted. An awful lot. An awful lot. And it's going to be really tough for the people who rely on those programs. It really is going to suck. Hello, sweetness. Um, it really is going to suck. But to be fair, life has sucked for a few years now. You guys have had about 4 of them. We've been having shitty times since 2016. Well, since before, but they started getting really bad in 2016. So shit's already bad. I think, sucking up some more crap for just a little bit longer with the understanding and guarantee that in this case, it will come back and it will be better because of it. I think is what people have to do. I don't think anyone's really got a choice, but at least in this case, they are being excruciatingly transparent. I love that the press secretary is bringing receipts to the table now, because that's what I was concerned about. I was going to laugh at Anderson Cooper getting angry at a conservative on the show the other day, but then I watched the full clip and he didn't. He actually made some wonderful points. Doge can say they found whatever they want to say they found, but they weren't producing receipts at that point. So he made a great point, and that point was obviously heard by the White House because we're seeing receipts now, and it's lovely. And at the end of the day, it's going to take some time, but at the end of the day, you guys are all going to be the better off for it. Mr. Q, I envy you and where you live. I just watched a mountain lion chase either a bobcat or a lynx across the field. Couldn't tell what it was. Yeah, I miss those days. We used to have. I mean, I've got the ghetto deer, so it's not like I'm completely devoid of wildlife in my surrounds. But yeah, when I lived on the coast, we lived right at the base of Burke Mountain, and we had all sorts of wildlife that would come in to the outer edges of town, and pardon me, We grew up in the bush. We grew up hiking up and down that mountain and playing at Crystal Falls and this, that, and the other thing. So it wasn't a it was a common occurrence to run into wildlife like bears and cougars and wildcats. All the fun things. You just had to be smart about it. Mind you, back then Darwin uh, got to win a lot more award winners. I think um, we save a lot of people. That's not right. That's going to get me into trouble. I think with the improvements that we have with medicine for diseases and stupidity, um, I think we are taking over. We are being taken over by not as intelligent people. Um, and back in the day when we were playing in the forests and climbing through the mountain, uh, Darwin's award winners were treated somewhat differently, and it made for a stronger class of people. Freedom fractions, our math is awesome. We went to the moon first. Don't shit on our math and our weighting measurement systems. Fair enough. You went to the moon, allegedly. Uh, I want to know about the Van Allen belt and how you were able to cross it, but now you're not able to cross it. I want to know about if you actually went to the moon. Why did you have to fake all those videos? Because it's been admitted that all those things were fake by now. Yeah, there's a lot of things, but even though you did that, I'll give you that. But when most of the world uses one way, using a whole new measurement weighing system um, just to be different is kind of petty and rude. So maybe you guys could be less petty and join the rest of the world so that it could just be, across the board and everyone would understand everything. Like, what's wrong with kilometers? No big deal. What's wrong with Celsius? It makes sense. Zero is right where you're going from water to ice. Anything colder than that is minus. Anything warmer than that is plus. What's so hard about that? Okay, well, now that thank you, keep going. But what's so hard about that? What is this Fahrenheit crap? Hello, Bishop. Did I say hello? I think I did. Hi, Stingy. I know I haven't said hello to you. You're easy. I know I'm easy too. You found a selective oxidation of secondary alcohols. God, I love academic papers. See, a minute ago you were complaining. A Puerto Rican woman you work with said just a few months ago, just a few months into COVID, that it was made in a lab and it was SARS and some HIV slapped together. She was right. I know. That's what I was saying too. That's what I was saying too. Finally, the province of Alberta is admitting all of the truth to the COVID and the vaxes and everything. I pinned that link, you folks on YouTube. I pinned the link for the Rumbles because I'm really going to get in trouble here. But Alberta finally came out and said the truth. Japan has been saying the truth almost all along. There's been doctors in America and Australia and Germany that have been saying it all along. Finally, science is coming back into effect, and the science is being put in the garbage where it belongs. Um, People are allowed to discuss more freely what's going on, although not on YouTube. Um, and it's really nice because Alberta did it, and it was being told, the video was being done by mainstream media. I'm able to share that with family members who may actually give it some credence because it's mainstream, and it sucks that it has to be that way, but at least there is that now, right? Hello, Libby. How you doing? Good to see you. It was recently shown that the CIA knew all along it was made in the lab. British researchers sequenced the virus and said it was impossible. It occurred naturally. I have a whole series of dots that I have connected when it comes to that specific thing. Um, let's not call it that. Uh, when it came around with my IRL people, we always called it the corn. Okay. So it was the corn virus. So let's take this imaginary corn virus. I believe the way it started would have been the gain of function research that was being done in America by you guys. And you guys fiddled with it and played with it and did everything you could and pushed it as far past the boundary of what you were legally allowed to do as you could do. At which point you shipped it over to us in Canada. We've got a long history of doing this, not just with diseases and chemicals, but psychological warfare. MK Ultra was being run over here at the same time and together with your CIA and their MK Ultra. So, in my opinion, once you guys took it as far as you possibly could, you shipped it over to us, where we took it as far as we possibly could, which was much further than you guys could, because, we're much more open and accepting and willing these days. When we got it as far as we could and could take it no further, a few years before the corn happened, probably between 3 and 5 years, roughly, before any of that happened, there was a scandal because 2 Chinese scientists who were working at a top security clearance biolab in Canada absconded back to China with a bunch of samples of different seriously deadly viruses and concoctions and potions. They took it with them on a commercial flight from Canada to China. And this is known, this is documented. Once they got to China with all of their goodies that they had taken from the Canadian labs, where were they placed to work? Well, gee, if it wasn't a lab in Wuhan, it's just fascinating. And like I said, about 3 to 5 years after that scandal happened and was swept under the rug and people had forgotten it, all of a sudden the corn virus happened and the whole world shut down and all of the. So in my opinion, it was the works of you guys and us and China. So no one's innocent in all this, in my opinion, from the dots I've been able to connect. Okay. If you think I'm wrong, go research it for yourself. If you can prove I'm wrong, please show me your research, because if I'm wrong, I will. I'm more than willing to admit it and change my opinion. But from everything I found and everything I knew before any of the corn happened, that's my opinion. So many people in the beginning were spitting facts and they were silenced. Yes, yes. Like the person who invented the PCR test, who said, right as it was all kicking off, do not use this PCR test to look for this new virus. You cannot use it. It's not made for that. If you multiply it enough or magnify it enough times, you can find anything you want in anything. Do not use this for that purpose. And then he suddenly died. And that was before any of these, well, I've said it already, before any of the vaccines were allegedly just developed and handed out. So it was, I think it was more of a, I'm really going to get myself off. I think it was more of like yeah, let's just stop there. I don't think he died by accident. I think it was by design. I know, isn't it great? Levy's here. I haven't seen you here for a while, so it's good to see you, bud. Once upon a time, we were on the same time zone, but you moved over there. So, Trump made himself chairman of the Kennedy Center. Did he really? Oh, that's funny. Hello, Johnny K. Turn it loose. Just turn it loose. I'm a whore. Libby saying hi, Uncle Buck. Brian saying turn it loose. MJ says, a few minutes after 8 this morning, I checked my phone and it said it was 19 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit. I had to go out and scoop a little snow. Oh, it's finally, I kept complaining that it wasn't winter here, that it was the most mild winter we've had forever. And I guess God, or whoever you believe controls these things, was listening, because I didn't get the snow that I was missing. That's what I was really complaining about, was the lack of snow. And I didn't get the snow, but it sure as shit, it's gotten cold. Now it's back down to averaging minus 12, minus 15 degrees Celsius for our high lows on the daily now. So it's really freaking cold. You get what you ask for. It's just not necessarily the way you're expecting to get it. my dear Carrie Switchblades. Yes, I know. Well, I live in the ghetto, and the fact that we've got must be a couple of separate herds, and we've got another new buck, a young buck, as well as an older one that have been coming through here. I've lived here for a decade now in this specific location, and they're always here year round, and it's so much fun to watch them grow and multiply, and it's a lot of fun. Also, I live in the ghetto, and so yeah, the little spaces of green that they can find, they choose to stick around in. But when the shit hits the fan, or the zombie apocalypse happens, or whatever it is, I won't have to worry about looking for food, because they're going to come right at me. So there's that, right? Between my canned goods supply and the occasional deer that I can stop in my backyard, I think I'll be okay. Please hit the like button for sure. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the subscribe or follow. If you're on the YouTube, head on over to the Rumble and follow me there too, just in case, because I am going to get kicked off of YouTube at some point. I can't humble my mouth. MJ says, I've seen the rest of the world. It sucks. Why would we want to be like that? Right? I know you're talking about the measurements and the temperature and stuff, but I'm taking it differently on purpose, willfully misunderstanding that statement. It was ME Ultra or MA Ultra, right? Good evening, everyone. Got to do the whole Valentine's thing now, taking the girlfriend and kids to the movie. Thank you. Well, you have a wonderful evening, Mr. Q. Say hi to the girlfriend and the kids. You guys have a fun time tonight, okay? Hello, MSO. Johnny. The way the Kennedy Center was being ran, someone had to take charge. So what exactly is the Kennedy Center? Like, what all does it encompass? I've heard of it. I just assumed it was some sort of like a museum-esque sort of thing that was cared for by the Kennedy estate. That was my assumption. But assuming makes an ass out of you and me, more out of me than you. So yeah, fill me in. What is the Kennedy Center and what does it do? JK says, FEMA here has always said to have 2 weeks of food and water stocked up. Yeah, I do more than that. I definitely do more than that. And whenever there's a concern about water or fire, I tend to fill my bathtub full and just keep it full of water. That way, worst case scenario or worst case Ontario, if you know, you know. But worst case Ontario, I've got a tub's worth of water that I can boil and use as well. Thankfully, though, they finished doing all the sewage and the waterworks in my area of the ghetto. My town had a surplus of, or has a surplus of money, and instead of wasting it on crap, they're actually using it to fix the city's infrastructure. They've been doing it for years now, and it's lovely. They finally got through the ghetto. They've got some last few things to do in the spring, but crossing fingers, I should never have to boil my water again, which is something I had to do on the regular up until now. So that is nice. I'm going to catch up with Rumble here. Canadian bacon is round, real bacon is rectangular. Hello, Dom. Cha-ching. Thank you very much for the $1 Rumble rant. I love it. I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but YouTube keeps changing the way it serves up ads, and sometimes mine will sit for 5 minutes or more before loading or continuing a video. Yes, I've heard of that, and I've heard the horrors of the hour-long ads as well. It's scary. One of the things I've found, I allow the ads to run through, not all the time. And not everyone, but I don't skip it as soon as I can skip it every single time. I tend to put something on and then wander away and start doing stuff in other parts of the house, doing chores or what have you. So I'll just let the ad play through. And I find that as long as I let the 15 or 30-second ads run all the way through every now and again, that's all I seem to get hit with, or the 15 or the two 15-second ads. So I don't know if that'll work for you. I had to take the ad blocker stuff off my PC because I'm troubleshooting my PC. So I need to take off everything I can that didn't come with it so that I can find out what's wrong with it. So yeah, just be patient every now and again and wait through 30 seconds of ads, and it may come up less often. Magic 8 Ball, good to see you again. It's an homage to Kennedy from MTV. From MTV? Really? Why has MTV got a homage to Kennedy? And yeah, that's very strange. I thought it had to do with the Kennedy estate or something. If you need money, try selling your bathwater to Bifrons. He'd buy it. I have not seen Bifrons in eons, actually. Ozzy's actually streaming at Aussie times, which is great for him, but it makes it really hard for me to catch him. I haven't seen Bifrons in a good while. Why is he buying bathwater, or used bathwater specifically? Or no, I do want to know, why does he want used bathwater? Johnny says, I have about 2 weeks of emergency food, but I have to catch the cats first. Hindsight, probably not a good plan. See, I've got that exact same plan, only in reverse. I've probably got 2 months. If I ration it wisely, I've got 2 months worth of food and water for myself. But when I run out of that, if shit's still squirrely, I am the 2 months of cat food for the girls so that they can continue and survive off of me. And maybe by that time, someone will have come in and let them loose. So similar but different plans. FEMA, what a waste, asks the people in North Carolina and other places that have had disaster lately. I know. Hopefully Trump and Doge can clean that up right quick too. It was nice to see that he was traveling around to places like North Carolina and Hawaii and California. It's really nice to see him going to those places before he'd even done his inauguration. He actually gives a shit about trying to fix stuff there. He's not just talking. I also love the fact that he is signing executive orders all day long But as he's doing that, he's answering questions to reporters. Um, it's lovely. It's refreshing to hear from your president on a daily. And it's also refreshing to see independent media in the press box being allowed to ask their questions. It's uh, it's a lovely thing to behold. SH has woken up wondering what was playing, and it was a 30 to 45-minute ad. Oh, yeah. See, knock on wood, I have not run into any of those yet. Hello, neurodivergent one. How you doing tonight? Add Canadian bacon. It's what's for dinner. Gravy. It's what's for dinner. Other than reporting back to Trump and Trump's team, what has Elon actually done? Did Elon actually order something or some payment to not be made? Exactly. Exactly. Elon and his team have simply been uncovering stuff and bringing the receipts to Trump and his team. They have done nothing more. Um, and like I said before, what's the difference between Elon doing this job now and whatever faceless, nameless, unelected bureaucrat was doing it before him? It may have a new name, but it's not a new department. Um, People like to think it's this new thing, but it isn't. And there was someone that you guys did not know about who was doing this or who was supposed to be doing this before Elon. He just wasn't. So I don't know why people are complaining about Elon either. Plus, he brings his kid with him, and his kid's really great for, just lightening the mood. Did you guys, I don't know if you saw it, the video, Elon's trying to answer a question in the Oval Office, answer one of the reporter's questions, and meanwhile his son is up on his shoulders, sticking his fingers into his dad's ears. That's got to be kind of annoying and awkward when you're trying to have a serious conversation. And asking Trump, so polite, excuse me, sir, I need to go to the bathroom. I think that was just adorable. Just adorable. Kennedy was an MTV VJ. I didn't know MTV was around that long. I thought MTV was like well, yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess. Huh. Imagine that. I never would have thought. Oh, you're joking. Okay, thank you. Here I am thinking. See, I am gullible and I will take you at your word. If it's really important enough, I will go looking. But I appreciate your telling me you were joking. Neurodivergent is glad Elon's exposing the BS. They're getting money back, so I'll give him credit for that. Yep. Kennedy Center is a showcase of both talent and arts, as well as what is considered to be philanthropic efforts. Thank you, Dom. Hello, Wild. How you doing? Oh, good. The back end looked honest. Here, you guys are funny. Wild said she's fine all over. Good, good. Wild uses a Brave browser and logs into Rumble, and that way she never gets an advertisement. YouTube, however, is polluted with them. Yes. I did use Brave for a while. I can't remember why I switched off. Oh, yeah, I think it was making this thing work too hard. My PC worked too hard, I think. That makes sense anyways. I took a lot of stuff off of my PC because of it. But I will keep that in mind. Oh, it says I've got a lot more stuff, but I am caught up there. Good, good. All right, back over to this one. Hopefully the herky-jerky of the video with the camera will happen and end quickly. JK is saying, my high school chemistry teacher was a Mormon and therefore a prepper. Or are they one and the same? I didn't know that. She instilled it in all of us. Have emergency provisions, have a go bag, and store water. Yep. Yep. It's a joke. Bifrons likes you. Said you were beautiful. Aw, that's sweet. Yeah, I haven't seen him for a while. Not since I think since the streamers memorial for Vices. It's been a while. Like I said, I can't catch Ozzy because he's actually streaming at his time, not my time anymore. That was the problem with Jeff too. He started at 5 a.m. my time. It's just, oh, so hard to do. At least Trump isn't hiding out in his basement. Exactly. The fact that he's sitting there, he's doing important business and signing with those fabulous presidential Sharpie pens. I think those are phenomenal. I would love to own one of those. Um, but it's great that not only is he doing that, but he's also holding intelligent conversation with reporters and not just the bought and paid for reporters. He's actually talking to independent media, which is allowing what he's really doing to be presented to the average Joe, which is lovely. And it's refreshing to have a president who knows what he's signing. Exactly, right? Eileen, MTV has nothing to do with the Kennedy Center. Someone's messing with you. Okay. I was wondering about that. I'm like, MTV, really? Thankfully, they were kind. They admitted right away. Because, I am cute, but I am also thick. He's not drooling all over the Resolute desk. Very true, Wild, very true. Its full name is the Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts. Okay. Hi, AP, how you doing? Yeah, see, I was under the assumption that it was kind of like a museum sort of thing, uh, kind of towards the JFK legacy. Um, Although now that you've given me the full name, I'm sure I've heard that before. It just hasn't. My memory. Things don't stick the way they should. So, um, I'm guessing it's geared more towards acting and as opposed to fine arts artists, architecture, that sort of thing. Oh, you guys, hello, Officer Krupke. Good to see you. You're talking about a different Kennedy, and that's why I'm all confused. Okay. Kennedy, who is now on Fox News, was an MTV VJ back in the 90s. See, thank you. I didn't think MTV was that old. Um, you guys got me questioning everything. Thank you for that, Officer Krupski. Good to see you. Being a prepper is baked into Mormonism, probably because at one point they were being hunted down like animals. Fair enough. Fair enough. Brave started full paging pop up ads exactly what it's meant to block, so I uninstalled it and use Opera. Seems to be okay. Okay, good to know. Thanks, SH. You'll use a stay bag more than a go bag. All your shit is at your house. No reason to go anywhere but get home and hunker down. That's kind of my plan. Um, if the shit hits the fan, that's my plan. I can block up. The one problem I have, if it's not zombies, if it's like actual human beings and looters, um, my front door has been put on to open out, which means the hinges are on the outside. They're rusted to fuck. And so if someone wanted to try and take my front door off the hinges, I would know long before they got anywhere near doing it. But I've already got that planned. I can block up that's a stairwell behind me. Um, that is a stairwell. The railing is there, but the stairs actually go from the top, from the level that I'm at now, down a full story in just a very short amount of space. And the door opens uh, out. And when you open it from the outside, you're stepping directly. There's no landing whatsoever. You're just stepping onto the stairwell immediately. It's interesting to say the least. So I just have to block that end up. So even if they do get the door off the hinges, they won't be able to get any further. Uh, and I can get in and out from my windows and my balcony, or my balcony over here. So I'm going to hunker down. I buy cat food in huge quantities because she needs special stuff. So I've always got extra cat food. And like I said, worst case scenario, um, I cannot survive. I run out of food and I die. They can feed off of me, and they'll last for quite a while with that. Unless there's an emergency where you have to leave suddenly. Yeah. And I do have a go bag. Um, a bug in versus bug out bag. Yeah. I do have a go bag too. I live in a fire zone, so it's just common sense. Have, the stuff you really, really want to save um, ready to go. If the fire starts suddenly and the winds are strong, um, my place could be in trouble fairly soon. Uh, my neighbor likes to joke that we'll be okay. Not only do we have creeks surrounding the ghetto, um, but it's the ghetto. And the ghetto's not going to burn. There's nothing to burn in the ghetto. Um, for the most part, that's humorously true. No Secret Service agent changing diaper on Trump, that's for sure. Right, AB? SH is telling me they have classical and opera concerts at the Kennedy Center a lot. They show them on PBS. Okay, cool. JK is agreeing with AP. Pedolph Sniffler had obvious problems. His administration was sort of an eye opener for a lot of normies, right? And thankfully, people are finally waking up over here and seeing that Trudeau is the evilness that he is. The liberalism, the communism has been instilled deep down into my society. Unfortunately, in a lot of places, it's insidious and it's been working slowly but surely for a very long time. So, unfortunately, it takes a lot longer for people to wake up about Trudeau. Not everyone has woken up about him yet. Some people still think he's fabulous, you know? AV says, I have a make it home bag filled with fuck around and find out equipment, but emergencies are difficult to cover entirely. Well, yeah, that's what makes them an emergency, right? It's like an accident. You never know when or if it'll happen, but you got to try and prepare for it anyway. Uh, Magic 8 Ball wants to know if Johnny keeps a spiral ham in his go bag. I wonder. I don't know. It's spiral ham. Does that keep longer because it's spiral? I'm just asking. Brian says, yay, got another one of the questions I was struggling on done. Good for you. Thanks, academic papers that my teacher may get mad at me for looking up. Well, as long as you understand and can explain um, why you got there and how you got there, I don't think they should be too mad about your looking it up. Hopefully. That being said, I'm not a very huge channel. You may not have noticed, but I don't think your teacher's watching the stream. So hopefully, we'll be okay in that respect that I just read it out loud. Wild's telling me to Google Kennedy Center honors. They do celebrity lifetime career recognition events. Oh, okay. Betty Davis, Jim Cagney, etc. It's supposed to be an NGO to promote the arts, but it's an upper crust glam fest. Gotcha. Thank you. And Neurodivergent One is asking you all to remember to smash the thumbs up and is giving bacon thumbs ups. AP says that's why dogs are better to have. Cats can be early warning systems, but most of the time they aren't. My boxer made an alert noise that only I understood and reacted to. Yeah, dogs are most definitely the better defense mechanism. Um, with my health issues, though, it's not fair of me to have a dog. Um, but the only dog that would really appreciate living the lifestyle I could give it would be a Great Dane, and I can't afford to feed a Great Dane. But I cannot be going up and down the stairs, the dead. I call them the death stairs for a reason. Um, I couldn't be running up and down those things multiple times a day, taking a dog out. I couldn't be giving the dog the walks and exercise it would need. So it's just not fair. The cats love me. Besides, there's been a cat in the house since I was brought home from the hospital. Um, so for me, it would be weird not to have cats. Gonna take a ride in the fire zone. For the life of me, I can't pull up that tune. I don't know why. I'm usually very good at that game, JK. SH says that's always been one of the things I like about cats. They have a strong sense of self preservation. They'll just eat my face if necessary. Right? I feel better about that if the shit hits the fan, or if, you know, the world goes on as it always does and I just suddenly drop dead one day. Um, they can eat me, so they'll be okay for a while. Hopefully, they won't eat all of me before someone realizes that I'm missing and has gotten, you know, the cops to do a wellness check. That's what I'm hoping. MSO says you live in Canada. You need to go back. We might invade you at any minute. Yeah, I know. I'm in Canada right now. I am planning a vacation, uh, a trip. I want to visit some of my internet friends, at least the relatively close ones. You guys at least are on the right continent as me, or the same continent as me. So there's that. One thing that losing Jeff, one thing that losing vices did for me was show me that, yeah, life is short. And I can either continue to say, yeah, I'll catch you next year. And yeah, I'll meet you on the next Matsuri trip. Um, I can't do that anymore. I need to actually do it. So this agoraphobic ass with all sorts of anxieties and physical illnesses has been working towards joining the world again for years now, and the last, say, 3-4 years especially have been especially good. I've really advanced quite a bit, and so yeah, the train trip to the States to visit the friends, the really good friends that I've made online here. I'm looking forward to it. It scares the hell out of me, but I'm looking forward to it. And if you guys do invade, I know how to get across the border without having to go through a border check. So I could get myself back home. Oh, JK, I'm so sorry to hear that. Your dog had to have special food. It was 12 and a half and you had to put her down on Sunday. Aw, someday soon we'll get another one. Dogs are good to have. You're right. You're right. I'm really sorry to hear that. Our pets really are parts of the family. I know that's not the case all over the world, but at least here in Western Civ, uh, the cat I had before the girls, I had him for 17 and a half years. I got him when I was 21. And he was, for all intents and purposes, the child I wasn't going to have. I wasn't able to have. So, when I lost him, that was really, really hard. And I did not want another cat anytime soon. One of my neighbors came home with a kitten, said, "There's one left. You at least have to come and look at it." So I did. And of course, I came home with Boo. Um, but it took us a long while to bond, she and I. And in some ways, we didn't really properly bond until Sweets had been brought into the home as well. Um, because I think I got her too soon. I did. I got her too soon after I had lost my handsome one. And yeah, uh, I wasn't able to bond with her very well. But thankfully, Sweets followed me home one day and wouldn't leave the doorstep, so I had to bring her into the house. And Sweets made it so that not only do Boo and I have an amazing connection now, she and I are really properly bonded, but Sweets is too. So, it's really cool. Everything happens for a reason. But yeah, you don't want to rush getting a new one to replace the old one. You got to make sure that you're ready for it. Hello, Bull Steve. How you doing? Coming in with a dab. I have not done a dab in a while. Uh, I don't know. We only got 20 minutes left. I can wait, and that way I'm not trying to talk and cough at the same time. While saying civilization is overrated. Fair enough. Neuro's asking if I send you a package to smuggle back into Canada when you get to the States. Depends on what's in the package. I have to ask what's in the package. As I'm going by train, I will have to go through borders. So I'm being very careful to make sure I know exactly what I can and cannot bring across the border. Um, because unlike some people who will remain nameless but play professional women's basketball, I am smart enough to know that just because it's okay for me to have here doesn't mean it's okay for me to have everywhere. So, you know what I mean? I'm going to be very careful, and I'm not bringing in anything that I shouldn't. Um, and that includes my medical marijuana. My medical marijuana will stay at home, which is also going to make the trip interesting. Um, so once I actually officially have passport in hand and I can make hard and fast plans, I will start to let people know where I will be. And whoa, oh shit! Don't spill my stuff. Thank you. Um, yeah, I will be able to let you guys know when and where I will be places, and we can try and meet up and stuff. But I've got a few very important people on my list, and of those few people, I'm able to fit in a small number of them on this trip, hopefully. So, crossing fingers. Oh, look at you, bulls deep. Nope, cut meat spoils faster. More oxygen exposure. Oh, okay. Ah. So I'm going to rot quicker, is what you're saying. So I'm not leaving them quite as much. I should fatten up, is what you're saying, so that I am leaving them more food, or just hope that someone realizes within a shorter time frame that I'm missing and comes to release them. I'm not sure which, but both work. Are you jumping back? No? Okay. Oh, Brian's, you see, you're not even going to hide it. I'm going to tell her the paper so she can see my work. I don't care if she watches the stream. Hello, D. What? How you doing, buddy? You're coming in saying, I smashed. I smashed. Thank you so much. uh, Wild saying, how to disguise a shovel. And Neurodivergent is finishing the thought, will you mail the other package back to me? Again, it depends. I will not be doing anything illegal, um, as I want to be able to come back and forth across that border more than once. So you're doing good, Bulls Deep, having a nightcap. Good to hear it. Nice to see you hopping from YouTube to Rumble too. That's the way to be, especially the way I speak. Some of these streams, you know, I've already had one warning that will never disappear. So don't bring anything across the border they're not playing. Exactly, exactly. Um, I'm intelligent enough to know that, unlike some basketball players that we've all heard of. I can buy medicinal pot everywhere in New York. That's good to know. New York is not somewhere I'm going to be able to hit. Um, Funds are there, but they are not. I got a very, very small inheritance when my dad sold the family home. Um, it really isn't much, and I've had to use some of it already to get, you know, things that I've needed but could never really afford because I'm on disability. So there's not a whole ton of funds there, and I'm going to have to make them stretch. But I've got a few places in specific that I know I have to be. Um, and if I don't get there, then who knows? You know, I can always come back again and hit other places. I've always wanted to do a road trip from BC uh, through Washington State and Oregon and do the road trip along the coast of California. Um, I really, really, really want to see the is it the Remington House? I think it is. It's the gun manufacturer. I'm pretty sure it's Remington. Um, it's an old haunted house that to this day you can still hear the workmen working on it, even though it's been empty forever. You can do tours through it. Um, I definitely want to do that, and I think a road trip would be ideal through there because it's close to me and I love to drive. See what's saying? Oh my. Wild says once you see the Minnesotans, I hope you'll see more of America than Stoney's Bar. Yes, that is just the first state. That is my first destination. Um, I know I'm not I'm fairly certain which way I want to do the trip, but again, it everything depends on once I get my passport, what the funds look like, as to who gets seen at what time. But I know I definitely have a meetup to do in Detroit. I have the meetup to do in Minnesota at Stoney's. Um, I've got someone in Alabama that I got to go see. Um, I've told her, and she's one of the reasons why I've decided that I have to do this leave my house thing. So I definitely have to go see her. Um, there's a really interesting health fair that I've been told about that happens in Denver. So if I can, I'd like to fit that into the trip, you know. So like I said, it all depends. Once I get the passport, first you get the passport, then you get the money, and then you book the trip. So that's what I'm doing. Yes, Wild. Yes, I splurged my inheritance on a coffee pot. So frivolous. But not just a coffee pot. I splurged and I got myself a vacuum cleaner. Such an adult gift I gave myself, and it was so thrilling. Um, the rug, the blue or this side, the blue rug that you see on the floor in front of the carpets, that was a splurge that I gave to myself because the carpet that came in this apartment is hideous, has burns in it, and Lord knows what else. So I've covered it with rugs, including that lovely new one. Um, or sorry, everything's backwards. The cat stand right there is new, and I bought that thanks to the people who have bought me coffees. The buy me a coffee was what I used to buy that for the girls. That was the promise. First amount of money I made would go to the girls getting a proper cat stand. So yeah, it's really cool. I've you guys have really helped me a lot with the buy me a coffees and the rumble rants. It's really great. I get to do the acupuncture treatments, which I could not afford on my own disability. It does not cover that. Holistic treatments? No, you have to pay for that yourself. So you guys have enabled me to do that, which is really interesting, and I've enjoyed it so far. I've still got another 3 treatments um, covered. So thank you already, and thank you in advance. Um, it's really great to be able to try different things. When I was told that my options are basically what I've got, so sit down, shut up, and deal with it. AP says my great aunt's Hemingway would alert. He was an awesome cat, barked like a dog, but in cat form. Yeah, my handsome one was a Maine Coon. He was 26 pounds, and then long hair on that. On top of that, he was a big cat. Um, but he was the most dog-like cat I've ever known. He followed me around. He wouldn't be up in my lap and all clingy, but he had to be beside me. He spoke to me. He sang to me. It was awesome. But yes, Wild, I did. I splurged on adult things with my inheritance. It wasn't very huge. It was single digits, thousands. It was really not very, very big um, in the grand scheme of inheritances. But to me, it was huge. Um, and it came at just the right minute. I was able to Boo had gotten sick, and I wasn't sure how I was going to come up with the vet money for that when it came in. So yeah, it came in just the right time and just the right amount that I've done my adult things, and I can use the rest of it to to grow my world again. Get out of this little room in this apartment. Tomic saying Canada can become the 51st state of the United States. Y'all are broke too. Fair enough. Neurodivergent one is saying New York might be run by commies, but it has a ton of beautiful sights to see. That's the same with BC. It might have been taken over by commies on the coast, but it's still beautiful, and I would never want to leave it. BC is beautiful. New York, like Michigan, is a nature delight, and we just have commie infestation. BC's exactly that, a nature delight with a commie infestation. That's exactly where I'm at. Yeah. SH said I had those steep, shallow stairs in my old house, slipped down them a few times. Once I was going to go head first, was holding onto the railing so tightly, got rug burn type sores. Yes, mine has been very dangerous because the carpet, has been raising and pulling away. So, especially considering it's not all the same depth of step, they're different. It's weird. It's not. It was not built to code as code stands nowadays. It was built before code existed, probably. Um, so yeah, they're very dangerous. And the landlord came in and screwed in those metal railings on the edge of each, so at least you can visually see where each steps ends. But now the screws are working their way up, and I damn near took a header down them just before I had to start this stream. Or no, it was just after I ended my last stream is when it was. I had a delivery. And I was going down and I damn near took a header because my sock got stuck in on one of the screws. And so it kept my foot behind. Loads of fun. Hello, Cowslander. How you doing? There are good people out there in here, says Bowles Deep. Yes, there are. There are very, very good people. And I passed up on a few chances to go and meet um, one of the best folks I ever met online in real life because I was scared. You know, um, the anxiety and illness kept me inside, and so I kept saying next time, and Vice isn't here anymore. So um, I've got to do it now, and the good people that I've met, I'm making plans to see, and I'm excited about it. Scared to shit, but excited too. So Minnesota is one of the spots I'm stopping in, but it's not the only one. AP says, I'm looking at all the crap food we have and removing all the crap so I can hopefully get back to running and being human outside. See, yeah, that's it. One of the great things about the acupuncture treatments, she's a doctor of traditional Chinese medicine. So it's not just acupuncture. She gave me entire body one over, top to bottom. She's helping me with diets. Um, not so much exercise. That's really on me. I've got the ability to do it. I just have to do it. But we're making other changes in other areas of my life that will help. Um, so that hopefully when I do get on that train and I can't bring my medical marijuana everywhere, um, hopefully I'll be able to deal with it in other ways to get through. Aw. Yeah, JK, I'm so sorry for your loss. I know the house is quiet, um, but you'll know when the time is right. You'll know. Or the animal, like Sweets did, will just show up on your doorstep or follow you home from somewhere someday. Everything happens for a reason. Brian's going to send me back with 6 kilograms of horse semen. Why would I want horse semen? Why wouldn't I just leave that in Minnesota for walls? Doesn't he like that stuff? Besides, I'm going to hang out with the main procurer of all gorilla milk. Why do I need horse semen? Exactly, JK. Biden gave Russia back their war criminal, the Lord of War. Uh, we gave them back to Russia for Brendan Greer, yes, or Griner. Um, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. That was a ridiculous and pointless trade for someone who did something that should have been obvious to anyone with sense not to do. You know, she did it. She was stupid, and she deserved to spend her time in that prison. You know, and if I did that, if I decided to come in and bring some illegal substance in with me, um, I would deserve to have to pay my do my time in America. You know, it's that's how the world works, or at least that's how it should work. SH says most places you will visit have recreational. That's what I'm hearing or understanding. I can't bring it with me, but it shouldn't be too hard finding it. Uh, Most of the places I go are okay with it. So AP's saying it's 3 years since your boxer passed. And the MS is worse now, so you can't bring yourself to get another. Though I can bond with another boxer through training again. Lost many arguments with my boxer. I know they're willful, aren't they? Boxers are my favorite breed of dog. I would never get one because it wouldn't be fair. I could not give a boxer the life that it needs to have. You know, there's no way I could give it all the exercise and everything that it would need. Yeah, JK, that's kind of what I'm hoping for. Uh, the folks along the way, if they can help me out, perhaps they'll help me out um, with the medical stuff on your side of the border. Hmm. Thank you, D. What? When I visit Chicago, Brian will get me a bit of medicinal fun to smoke. Cannot partake, but he can be the plug. Nice. See? Thank you. And the same, I'm hoping Mighty can do the same for me. Illinois as well. Winchester House. Okay, see? So I did have the maker wrong. It's the Winchester House. Thank you. Um, it it has fascinated me for ages now. I think I learned about it, oh, in the early 2000s was the first time I heard about it, and I would love to go and do a tour. It is just the most fascinating story. And I mean, who wouldn't enjoy a lovely road trip along the coast, the West Coast, you know? It's it's beautiful scenery all the way through. So, like I make jokes of, instead of us becoming the 51st state, we'll take Washington State, Oregon, and California, um, and you guys can take Quebec and Ottawa. And if you guys take those two, we'll give you Greenland. We won't fight you for Greenland. Good folk here can confirm, says Bull Steve. That's exactly it. And the legal vices um, community, that's where I really started out. Vices was the dude, and he built such a great community. That's why my mods are almost all of them were Vices mods, because I know them. I'm a Vice mod too, but I know them all and I trust them all, and we built such a great community around Vices, um, that I'm looking forward to being able to meet some of those good folk, and I'm now meeting good folks in other communities too. So I'm excited. SH knows about the Winchester house as well. She's heard about it. The construction constantly. Doors to nowhere, rooms on rooms, dead end halls. Yep. Yeah, it wasn't Remington. It was the Winchester house, is what I was thinking. I'm a beautiful soul. Thank you so much, D. What? You're not so bad yourself, bud. And it's especially nice now that I know that I'm talking to you, or who I'm talking to, more to the point. Um, we've talked for years now, D. What? And I love you. I love you guys, all of you guys and gals. The Vices family is the best family out there for sure. D. What saying, I understand that Digger never expected it. He was young, as experienced and intelligent. He's still young. Legal Vices. Yes, I know. I've seen that he's streaming. He tends to stream later at night when I'm not watching. Unfortunately, I've usually got plans later in the evening, so I haven't been catching those streams. But I do whenever I can, and he really is his father's son. He really is. It's um it's nice to see. So we haven't lost him fully. Yeah. Boomer jokes aside. I like me a good, dad joke and boomer joke. Besides which, I do think that Jeff was there that night doing the. I know it's against the biblical teaching, and I know that that's probably not what was going on. But in my mind, in my heart, I like to think that it really was Vices there, um, doing the tech difficulties and the boomerang things for us on our stream forum. It's a thought that makes me feel good. Whether it's actually true or biblical, I know it's not biblical, but it makes me feel good. It helps me get through it. So I'm hoping that God can forgive my playing along on that little on that little thing, because it really does make me feel better thinking that that was him reaching out and just letting us know that it's okay. Don't talk about drugs and traveling. I know. Well, I'm talking about how smart I am and that I won't be taking things with me. Brian, you weren't a Vice mod, but though you wouldn't have said no. No, but you're a buddy. Like I know you. So, that's what I'm saying. Actually, what am I doing here? I'm seeing this now. What the heck am I even thinking? Where did I put them? There they go. I can't believe, mind you, I can believe it because I had done the same thing accidentally with Alan somehow. I managed to not notice. Oh, please don't tell me you're going to take forever to bring the chat back. Nope, no, you're not. Good, 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 good. I just noticed that you're not blue either, my friend. Um, my bad. I thought, you know what? I'm certain I had gotten you before, JK. I'm certain I got. I wonder if YouTube unmods people, like they unsubscribe people. I don't know. I could have sworn I'd gotten you. But even if I hadn't before, I have now. So there we go. I just realized you're not coming up in blue. Larax did 10 years of work in almost 3. I know. The man never shut down. AP says you can have Cali, but hunting in Washington is staying in the U.S. non-negotiable. SH said she saw a segment in the Winchester house on Unsolved Mysteries years ago. Then I saw a fictional movie about the house. Yeah, that was, oh, shoot. The Rose. the Rose House, something along those lines. It was a Stephen King book, I believe. Oh, I know what you're talking about though. It was a really good movie. Um, I enjoyed it. You actually meant Lorax on that one. A beautiful soul. Well, I'm accepting that one for myself as well. I'll take it. Being a mod for Lorax was an honor. I was brought into a tight knit group. I know. Um, he really did build the best community on the interwebs. So, and I'm not very active in there because I tend to be on at different times, but I do pop in there and I do try and keep up with what's going on in the Vice's Discord. Um, so I do keep up on you guys, even if I'm not physically there talking to you guys when you're there. Yeah, I need to get off that subject, D. What I'm getting a little teary. Also, we're almost 10 minutes over the 2 minute hour. Rose Red, there you go. See, someone would have it. Thank you, Johnny. Rose Red was the movie. Thank you, and it was a good one. It was very well done. Eileen says it's still hard to talk about Jeff. Hopefully, it gets easier. It does. Or hopefully it does. Right. It still gets hard to talk about him. Yeah, I miss him still, and at the weirdest times, you know. But yeah, there's things have happened, and I've wished there was a way I could just go, hey Jeff, what do you think? You know. Um, on that note, and before I get teary and running away again on a different subject, um, we're speeding through the Oliver Sacks book that I'm reading during my Thursday morning reading streams. So if anyone's got any suggestions on other books I should read, um, please feel free to DM them to me. Uh, I'm in Discord. I'm on X. Leave a comment on one of my videos. Let me know what you could suggest. Maybe you know what? I'll make a post in the community thing on my YouTube page, and you guys can drop suggestions in there. That being said, I did make a point to reach out to the author of my next book I'm going to read. Um, Not only did I get permission, but Stephen Gosney, being the wonderful man that he is, even emailed me the latest edition in a PDF. So I will be reading Prepare by Stephen Gosney once we finish reading The Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat. So I'm very excited about that. I'm so glad to have gotten his permission and to get the latest edition. I bought a first edition. I was right there in there for Prepare, and it'll be nice to be able to have the updated version as well. So that will be the next book I read. However, after Prepare, I got no idea. I got no idea whatsoever. So if you guys want to start throwing out suggestions on books, that'll give me time to track a copy down. um, Also thinking of perhaps reading some Robert Heinlein books, not because they're necessarily educational, like what I've been doing so far, but just because I love Robert Heinlein, and there's not a whole lot of people who know that he even existed anymore. Although I still swear I swear Elon Musk and I grew up reading the same books. A lot of what he wants to do relating to space and technology is coming from Heinlein and from Heinlein's universe. So that's one of my thoughts. If you guys have any others, please let me know. Oh, AP, there's a movie with Helen Mirren that takes place in the house. Oh, that's cool. Go look for that. I'm gonna need to get another notebook soon because I keep writing all over this one. I don't actually open the notebook and write in the notebook. I just write all over the cover. Helen Mirren. Uh, Winchester House. Okay, that should take me there. If I give you a mouse, if you give a mouse a cookie, it should be your next book. Oh, okay. Give a mouse a cookie. Okay, that's on the list. There we go. And the Ghost Adventures crew were over at the Winchester House. Okay. The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. Exactly. Exactly. It's always nice to talk to him. Robert Heinlein, you know Heinlein, JK. Hey? He is really one of my heroes when it comes to authors. I know there are so many authors to choose from, but I really loved his books. I loved his stories, and I read them and read them again. My mom was a huge fan. I've got huge Tupperware tubs filled with Robert Heinlein paperback books. Also Anne McCaffrey, because I liked her too. Um, but yeah, so I'm thinking instead of having them just sit in the Tupperware tub, I could be reading them. And instead of just reading them, I could be reading them online and sharing his stories with other people. That being said, I'm not going to read any of his books until I've gotten permission from his estate, because I don't want to step on their toes. I really respect his work. So I want to make sure I don't step on any toes. The book Starship Troopers was a great, great book. I loved it. My favorite was, oh shit, A Man from Mars. It was the Martian, Grok. I cannot for the life of me remember the title now. But he was my favorite character I think I've ever heard in any or found in any universe. Um, Excalibur, Wookiee noises, Citizen of the Galaxy. The Moon is a Harsh Mistress. I've got that one. Yeah, I've got them all. Red Mars. Um, Red Mars isn't the one I'm thinking of, though. Stranger in a Strange Land. Thank you, SH. Thank you. I've got a few copies of Stranger in a Strange Land. I love that book so much. So, so much. And you've never finished it, even though you've enjoyed it. Maybe I'm not supposed to read it, A Sign from the Universe? Perhaps. Perhaps. If I get permission from his estate to read his books, perhaps you can throw it on when I'm reading. Because if I'm allowed to read his books, Stranger in a Strange Land is the first one I would read, for sure. It's my favorite. So maybe you could pop it on and listen. Oh, there is someone knocking at my door. Jeff was going to read that autobiography about Ernest Shackleton. I will look at that too. I have to go. Someone's really ringing the doorbells and stuff. I love you guys. Y'all rock so much, and we really have built a great community. And I'm glad that you guys in the Vices community are still hanging out over here with me. I appreciate it so much. So I love you all. Today is Thursday. Next time you'll see me online will be Saturday on Shenny's stream for game night. Love you. Bye.